What's up, guys? We're here with Real Wrestling Podcast, the underground and professional wrestling podcast. I am Chidi Bang, along with my co-host and tag team partner, joint roller Ayatollah Chris the Most High. What's good?
What's good is I'm
Lighter.
looking for my grinder. Nah, I see.
One of the two. One of the two. How do you?
Okay.
Got the grinder. Okay, bad.
What's going on? We wanted to come quick. Raw takes before we go to sleep. We got kids and nephews and shit. We got to get up in the morning and shit like that. But
yeah,
Raw was a pretty good show. Some things to take home. I think more than not, we just wanted to have a conversation about if you guys watch Raw, Punk towards tricep at the Rumble. You mentioned it in the group chat, which is crazy. He was like, "Yo, did Punk hurt himself, or is it just working and everything like that?" He looks a little hobbled. He looks a little bit labored. Come to find out, towards tricep.
I spotted it right away. There's one he did a future shock DDT. He immediately grabbed his tricep, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And I know if we know Punk's history, he had a torn tricep in AEW, I believe, right? So I was like, "Oh, okay." I see something up with it.
My thing about it is that once you rip it once, I didn't think that you're susceptible to ripping it again. For the simple fact that more oftentimes not the repairing is to make sure that it's attached so you can get your mobility and everything. So my thing now is Punk not reckless, but is Punk forgetting that he, what I'm saying, that he has an injury. Like I noticed Randy too, right? Randy, when he caught that clothesline from AJ, he was messing with his shoulder a lot. You know what I'm saying? Even when he was trying to do the come on and the RKOs, that was another thing I was paying attention to. Like, our guys just losing it? You know what I'm saying? Like, just losing it.
Well, from my research, I think he tore his left tricep last time. This time it's his right, so it's a different arm, but it's still a tricep tear. So he tore both of them within the past 2 years. And that's a long recovery time. And here's the thing: the guy said he's a lifer. He said he's gonna do this shit till the wheels fall off in his promo. He shed his tears. He said, "Don't feel bad for me."
Wheels is falling off, brother.
Baby,
they're going down the street without axle and rims and everything. They're tumbling right now.
Hey man, this is professional wrestling. People get injured. Seth just got injured himself. A couple weeks ago in the gender match. It happens. So I get where you're coming from, and I get it. Like even like we about to talk about The Rock, but as you get older, you're more susceptible to injury, and you're right. But I think with the amount of talent that they have in WWE, WrestleMania will not be like, oh my God, it's over. Like it's not like it's like somebody can't come and fill that spot that he has. Unfortunately, we will all want to see CM Punk, Seth Rollins potentially main event WrestleMania. But if for anything, this builds CM Punk even up more to a return next year, in my opinion. We saw with Cody. Cody tore a tricep a couple months into his WWE return, came back, won the Royal Rumble, main event to WrestleMania.
Tore his pec off the joint. Tore his pec.
Excuse me. Tore his pec. I know. Tore his pec.
You're right. But you're right. The injury bug sticks them, and they have to do whatever that may be. To persevere, to press forward. So with the Punk, I think both Rollins and Punk was going to make good business. I think them both not having a WrestleMania main event played into their story well, which also was why Seth was begging baby, please, please, baby, please, please, baby, please. That nigga Seth was like, hey man, listen, you want to do that again?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody's like,
And
yeah,
what did
we kind of want you to do it again.
Seth he's referring to Seth and Cody's promo today. Seth, well, Cody came out to, talk about what it meant to, to win the Royal Rumble. He seemed emotional in his own right, that he's going through maybe something in his personal life. He said everything's okay, but he said he needed the crowd on Saturday, and he seemed like he got a little choked up. So I hope, first and foremost, Cody's all right. Shout out to him, and congratulations. But Seth interrupted, and yeah, he said, if you were going to choose Roman Reigns, you're making a mistake. And he says, fight me instead. He said, because, and he laid it out. He laid it all out there, saying that pretty much, do you want the Hogan title? Do you want the politicking title? Or you want the title that, me and you've been building this title up. We've been on the road, all around the country, around the, world, even building the prestige of this World Heavyweight Championship. This is the workers' man championship. This is the blue collar championship.
Seth must not be familiar with his game. Nigga, Cody is a politician. You feel me? A nigga wanted to run for Senate. Like, did we forget about that? Nigga, you must not be familiar with this nigga.
Yeah, man. We're in the presidential era of Cody, man. Like, the dude, came back for a reason, and he stated it like really early on in his that he wants to win the title that his dad didn't win. So I in my opinion, this was a really cool promo. Reason being, it does introduce reasonable doubt that we're not going to see Cody versus Roman. And I think that alone is enough for me to be like, damn, like, that's cool. We had a whole debate in our group chat about, wait a minute, do we want to see, Cody and Seth again? And then leave it to Roman to face The Rock at WrestleMania, maybe, and let's get into it. I was like, no, like, I don't, I want to see Cody and Roman at WrestleMania. Like, that is what was built from last year till now. And I think that the teases all year long, to have it pivot at this point and go to Seth because of maybe a CM Punk injury, and then give, another spot to Rock and Roman, I think is a little bit, I think that's,
it ain't like we ain't never seen it before, though.
Exactly. Me and you were in Dallas when Cody debuted back, came return.
Not even that. I'm just saying, Seth. I'm sorry. Seth and Roman was built up for 32. We saw that from a mile away, right? Roman was downgraded, United States Championship run, Intercontinental Championship run. They were trying to rebuild the image of Roman after the fucking Rock raised his hand and everything, raised his arm. And the eyebrows, Seth and Roman was that buildup. When Seth got hurt, the pivot really hurt Roman and Seth ever regaining that feeling again. We lost that feeling of Rock and Roman, right? Rock and Roman was that fever pitch where we're like, hey man, what's final boss for Roman? Like, Roman's been pity patting around for a while, and I think it's because of they weren't able to get it closed with Roman and Rock. And again, you throw in, when you said, I'm sorry, just to cut you, to bring back what you're about to, when I cut you off, Cody coming back at 38, that was not no real life guarantee that from 38 to 39, he was going to keep that steam. WWE was going to put, like, there was
way.
No,
especially after tearing a pec, like,
it's no guarantee.
There's no guarantee, but somehow from then till now, even Cody has maintained relevancy without much championships. He had a brief tag team run with Jey Uso, and that's it. It was like 2 weeks or something, so the guy deserves it more than anything to be in the main event WrestleMania. Back-to-back Royal Rumble was historic, definitely joining esteemed class of Hogan, Shawn Michaels, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. But to now put him and say, you know what, you're going to be in the world championship, you're going for that, I think is a misstep, because he says he wants to finish the story, and he from the moment he came back, he said he never got to see his dad win the championship since he was a kid. You know, you talked about the boyhood dream in our group chat about how the parallel between him and Shawn Michaels, and I was like, yo, that's poetry in motion, man. Like that's really poetic. That yeah, he's fulfilling literally a boyhood dream of becoming the WWE champion, the championship his dad wasn't able to win, and that Dusty finished so many years ago. So it's him facing Cody, I mean Seth, I mean at WrestleMania, is it great? I think it will be a great match, absolutely. But is it really storytelling in its highest peak form? No, it's not. To me, him and Roman clashing one more time, especially if they can do it without interference as a stipulation, I think will create for a really entertaining match and a really quality main event for WrestleMania this year. We talked about I mean, Seth's going to be fine as long as he heals up. There's Drew, there's Gunther, there's other people. There's even Sami Zayn. You know, there's people that can compete for that championship. Back in November, before CM Punk even came, we were all clamoring for Gunther and Seth. Let's be real. Mm-hmm. So that's still option on the table right now. It could be title for title. It could be, or you can lose it depending on how you want to book it. I think that's a really great possibility, especially with the whole stuff with the allegations with Vince and Brock being pulled off Royal Rumble because of the allegations. It leaves an opportunity for Gunther to take the next step and move up. But me and you were talking like, with this Rock and Roman match, do we want to see it? And I know that I do want to see it, but I don't think it has to be this year. Honestly, I do not think it has to be this year.
I mean, the more it don't happen, the more it just don't happen. Matter. Yeah, I mean, like how many more can we push out to fucking like? Let's be clear here. Rock ain't in no condition, position, shape, right? To wrestle. So I mean, to get ready for Philly is crazy. To do it what he did with Cena and do it a year out from night after WrestleMania, and then we're gonna do 41. Like that's gonna be trash because legit Rock's gonna need a whole year. He's gonna need a whole year just to give us 20 minutes.
I think that can be done. I think
but that shit don't. But in what capacity is that gonna fucking matter?
I think it's the fucking Rock. It's gonna matter regardless. And let's be real. If people were clamoring for Ric Flair wrestled way longer than the Rock is old. How old he is. People have clamored for Mick Foley matches with Randy Orton. People have seen people perform in their old age and in a big spot before. Edge is still wrestling.
But we're talking about these niggas putting in real life reps still though. Like Rick old ass was still putting in weekly reps, running ropes against Tony Schiavone just to get the blood flowing. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Woo! Let me take this. Woo! Like he was still get Rock come outside and get goosebumps because niggas chant his name. That ain't the same as being in the ring with God mode, right? We talking about Roman.
You're absolutely not. But it has to happen, and here's why. The Rock is one of the biggest stars in the entire world. And I brought up him being on the board of directors for TKO. And he's responsible for the advancement and making choices being done for UFC and WWE respectively. Him knowing his cachet and what he can do for the WWE is going to be incentivized to, at some point, wrestle again. He said it on First Take. He said it on Pat McAfee show. He said it like, hey, man, we almost had a deal. Hey, it's a possibility of First Take. The dude clearly is hinting. He came on WWE television and said, should I sit at the head of the table? So, like, whether he should wrestle or not, that's neither here nor there. It's going to happen at this point. As long as no crazy shit happens, I think this is almost a guarantee that Rock and Roman will happen. Even if it's not WrestleMania, I think it will be at WrestleMania next year. It's going to happen at some point. And you don't need to like book it a year in advance. You can literally tell the Tribal Chief storyline in a span of 3 months, 2 months, 4 months, whatever you need to build it up. In the meantime, the Rock's board of directors knows, all right, business decision. Let's strategically set this up for, WrestleMania next year. Let's say, for instance, within a year or 2 years, they want to do a WrestleMania in the UK for some reason. That is a perfect match to sell out a stadium, So I'm just hypothetically speaking that, but now you have him on the board of directors with incentive to say, yeah, let me cut away some time from my other business ventures to go run it over here, work out, get myself in shape to perform at WrestleMania, because I think this is good for pushing the business forward, which is what he initially wanted to do with Vince in the first place when they were trying to wrestle with get him in LA last year.
TKO need a face, bro. Like this ain't got shit to do with Rock doing business moves and Dana White's a piece of shit. Vince McMahon's a piece of fucking shit. They were both fucking heads of the companies that they fucking merged together, and they trying to have little ass Ari Emanuel and Nick Khan be fucking front runners and front boys and face men of the company, and it can't work. It cannot work. So Rock being on the board of directors, you're talking about he's incentivized. No, he's incentivized to keep a fucking clear cut fucking image as he's the face of this. That's what he's
doing. Can you realize that being a board of directors is an actual position? It's like, yeah, you can be a figurehead for sure, but he's in charge of making actual decisions. Triple H says he has somebody he could talk to on a real level with the executives now. And that's like a bridge.
He has a seat at the he has a seat at the table. I'm like that. That's
exactly. I'm not saying he's making the decision. He has a seat at the table, which means not only is he has a seat at the table, he gets a seat at the table financially too. And he already was going to do LA, but they couldn't come up with a big enough reason. So now with him even closer to the company and even more incentivized, he's going to be more inclined to say, listen, let me get this dream match off at some point in a big moment. Period. I'm not saying that. Yes, he's a figurehead.
You're saying period. You're saying period as if there's not a comma to what I'm bringing to the table, nigga. And yeah, like you're saying, he's on the board of records. Okay, yes, he's more incentivized to take away from what you're telling me. Like you just said it. If he wasn't on the board of directors, he's too busy doing what? Doing other shit other than wrestling. Him being on the board of directors only just give him extra fucking shares in the company. It doesn't make him fucking more out
shares in the company that increases his net worth. And he clearly is a freaking third generation wrestler who cares about the business to begin with. So my point is that for him to do, not only saying he's going to wrestle full time, I'm saying one freaking match. Yeah, The Rock's going to do it. So at this point, it doesn't have to happen at Philly. It could happen next year, because clearly he should still be on the board of directors and incentivized to make the product better.
All I'm saying is that yes, The Rock's name is not going to lose any cachet, Chidi. I'm talking about for me and fucking you. Me and you have been with this goddamn tribal chief bloodline goddamn storyline for 4 fucking years. Next year, it ain't gonna fucking matter.
Okay, we'll see. You're saying that today. On January 29th, 2024. And mind you, we listen, Roman's been hot since. Now, granted, we shall see where they go with it, where they pivot, how they grow with the storyline and where it goes next. I think that if Cody defeats Roman Reigns, and like I've always said, Roman comes back with that bloodthirst like Thanos, he could be even a bigger villain, and win the championship back in time for next year. Whatever you want to say. Things can be done, and right now you're like, well, do we really want to see The Rock and Roman? I'm telling you, there are millions of people that would love to see this.
I hear you with that, but this goes back to the nitty gritty of what I'm talking about with you now, and you like incentivize and board of directors, and he Triple H is still content king, right? I hear you saying, and I'm following you down this rabbit hole. I'm not trying to just pinpoint. Cody winning the championship just to lose it back to Roman, just so Roman can defend it against Rock, is going to make everything look like a piece of shit. I'm just telling you right now.
So you think that Cody should hold the title for 3 years?
No, Roman? He don't have to hold it for 3 years.
So at some point he's going to lose to somebody. That's what I'm just trying to say.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's the reason why, again, full circle, it's the reason why Punk left. I'm champion for 434 days. I dropped the title because you already booked Cena and Rock. I have to drop the title to Rock because Rock has to go into Mania so Cena and Rock can have something to fight for. That's the same feeling I'm getting when you're telling me that, hey, next year it can do whatever the case may be. We know Rock and Roman ain't just gonna fight for a goddamn lay.
Let's be real.
We know they ain't just gonna fight for a goddamn lay.
Let's be real. They can fight for a goddamn lay. They don't necessarily need a championship on the line because The Rock is on the fucking board of directors. He don't need a championship. He's already at the head of the table. There's a built-in storyline because there's some Samoan heritage.
So we know Rock is going under, right? That's okay. This is why
I mean, especially without a championship, you can have The Rock go over. I don't know, but at the end of the day, people want to see the match. It's just like saying if Conor McGregor was on the board of directors and he said he retired, but he's like, all right, in the UFC, they need a big show for their first time, doing something big. They wanted you to host something and build a match with John Jones. You want to gain some weight, whatever it may be, the first time ever, something like this. He's going to be more incentivized to be like, let me do them a solid and do both. Whether he wins or loses, it's money in the bank, So that's where my mind is going with this. And I think that just because he's already been flirting around with it, at some point is going to happen. It doesn't mean that it has to happen this year. Now, if it does, hey, I'll be there to watch it. And honestly, at this point, anything they give me at WrestleMania, I'm probably going to accept it and be extremely happy to see, even if it's Cody and Seth. But I just think that, like I said in the group chat, Cody and Seth, if we beat this dead horse into the ground, it's been dead for a minute. Cody beat him 3 times in a row, beat him in a Hell in a Cell match with a torn pec. There's no culmination bigger than that for this storyline for me. And I mean, I watched the match. Don't get me wrong; they're super talented, but the storyline that I want to watch going into WrestleMania is this: Cody can beat the Tribal Chief if he is the guy. If he should be, can that happen this year? After the loss he had last year, the big moment that he had last year where people were like, oh man, he should have won. Finish the story. All right, he has to beat the guy who cheated last year.
I hear you with that's the story, but again, that it's a story within a story. You saying Seth and Cody is a dead horse. It looked like Drew said, Cody won the battle. I am a champion. I was so much the fucking guy and made so much a goddamn stink about everything that they made a fucking belt for me, and I've been running around here with them up. So again, it's a story within a story. Dusty's kids still ain't beat me for real, right? Because essentially, I am still the guy, right? And when Cody came here, he straight up was like, I'm trying to, and Seth saying, over my dead fucking body, you are, right? Over my dead body, you finna come from outside and then come and step inside and say that you the guy because what? You got a smile and some blonde hair. I got a smile and blonde hair too. See my song, motherfuckers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Seth ain't just, Seth's like, what? Oh, because you got a tattoo too, bitch. That's what the difference is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? I got a baby girl too, nigga. What you want? My wife bad, nigga. What we stand up against each other? What you mean, nigga? Like I'm Triple H's baby boy, nigga. Like what you mean? Like
I love it. I love the competition of who's the guy, and like what Seth put, like he said, like, yo, I heard you in your press conference saying, guy, listen, I all due respect, you ain't the guy. It's me. He's not Roman, it's me. And I love that about Seth with that chip on his shoulder, man. The fact that he's trying to heal up for WrestleMania, it can possibly be built up, and I can accept it by the time he gets to WrestleMania. Absolutely, I hear where you're coming from,
and I know what you mean as far as like but listen, man, I tell you right now, don't fucking tell me you don't want Cody and Seth, and then tell me, oh, we can have Seth and Drew, man. Get the fuck out of here.
Listen, man, if it's Seth and Drew, okay, listen. If it's Seth. Seth Drew would have to be like a triple threat with like Sammy or something, or a triple threat with Gunther. I mean, I mean, you can build it. I'm saying there's something there to build to WrestleMania because Drew's on it. I just respect where Drew's at right now. This is the best Drew I've ever seen, and even him taking out CM Punk today, I loved it. him talking about how he prayed for this when he Punk's injury, and how he went to bed sleep like happy when he heard the injury. Everything he says on the mic has been fucking perfect lately. So I think he should be in a big spot at WrestleMania. So that's where I'm going with it. If in case they're not doing the Gunther Seth match, but to me at this point, without CM Punk making it for WrestleMania, and let's cross our fingers, Seth makes it to WrestleMania and it's healthy, I believe the match should be Gunther and Seth after the promo they had last week, where Gunther's like, listen, I'm going to target your knee. I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. I'm going to target your knee, all this stuff. And he said, and, I hope that I can face you because you've been, fighting champion. He says he's at that point where he should go for the world championship. I'm with it. Gunther just had a banger with Kofi Kingston today. He does not have bad matches. So Gunther and Seth, man.
Why would a person named the Ring General ever be associated with a bad match? I mean, put Otis in front of me, put Chad Gable, put Kofi, put Xavier
more
Woods,
than even having bad matches.
Put Bronson Reed, put Johnny Gargano. Like what? Sheamus Drew together.
Yeah, more than even having bad matches. The dude has consistent above average. That's what I mean. I should have said his matches are consistently above average. Like
this
every
is
time.
This is the thing about greatness, right? And we've seen it with sports all the time. You can't be. Yeah, this is what we talk about playoff. But playoff football, basketball, sports, championship. It's playoff, right? It's playoff, nigga. You can't give me 28 during the regular season, and then come playoff time and say, I can give you 25. What you said? What? You said what? You said 32? Okay, because that's what we need. You can't tell me that you threw motherfucking 300 yards average in the motherfucking regular season, and you talking about we can get it done with 237. You said what? You said we needed what? 450? Like, you can't give me anything less than, and as you was just about to say, above average is, nigga, that's when his fucking match is announced, first and foremost. You feel me? Gunther's in fucking action. Okay, above average. That's
exactly.
Now, who his opponent is? Okay, it's a good match.
Exactly.
Okay. Do they got animosity? Oh, this is a
great match. Yeah. That's why we named him both Wrestler of the Year last year. Both of us said this. We both unanimously said Gunther was Wrestler of the Year in 2023. And why shouldn't the Wrestler of the Year get a WrestleMania match in 2024 in the road to WrestleMania? So that's it. If I were choosing after CM Punk's injury, get well soon, CM Punk. Hope you're doing well. Hope you heal up fast. But I think Gunther now has an opportunity to kind of once again steal the show at WrestleMania. And I think that's exciting, bro.
Outside of that from Raw, we talked about it. The Awesome Truth or Raw, whatever them niggas is called.
Awesome Truth, you got it.
Tag team, that shit is whack. And we can
what?
I can just say it and
okay. It's not for you, man. It's not for you. I'm gonna be honest. It's not my favorite thing on the show, but I mean, hey, people love it. People like R-Truth, and I'm happy that R-Truth, at the age he is in, I think he's about the same age as The Rock, or even older, maybe, is kicking like he's really a superstar. He's a star.
I want to see The Rock do a split and get back up. That's what I want to see. Let me know you're ready for Roman when you can do a split.
Yo, R-Truth is 52 and The Rock is 51. Like, respect to R-Truth, dog. Like, honestly,
matter of fact, let me just see Rock do one of these and not hurt himself. Let me see do one of these and this motherfucking shoulder not pop out of place.
Yo, man. Shit. So yeah, I just got so much respect for R-Truth and the character he has and what he does and how his longevity in the business. Like, the dude's been killing it, and he sold the highest merchandise. When you take the highest merchandise from CM Punk and sell it over John Cena, I mean, you got to give the guy his flowers. So yeah, man, Awesome Truth. I want to see them as tag team champions, man. Miz with his babyface turn. I thought he had a great angle with Gunther. Maybe he can get a moment with R-Truth eventually, reclaiming their Awesome Truth, tag team and becoming tag champions finally. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, just for storytelling purposes. Not that I'm a super, into it. Hey, who's this? Jules?
That's Romeo.
Romeo? Okay.
Nigga, if it ain't a kid or my bitch,
It's a dog. You got a lot. Got to deal with. It seems like they got bigger, man.
bro. Or I'm just getting smaller.
Yeah, man. But it's about to be 12 midnight. I think we talk. Anything else you want to hit before you go? Because you got a lot clearly on your lap.
Come on, let's go. Come on. All right. I will say this. Raw packed in about 4 segments in an hour without commercials. Hey man, like WWE said on Twitter, y'all got advertisement money? Because what I'm trying to tell y'all is advertisement kills a lot of the show. So I don't know what this Netflix deal is going to incorporate. Hopefully, it will incorporate less ads, less commercial breaks, less interruption of action. Because CM Punk,
you're getting 250,000 a year.
250 million.
I mean, 250 million a year. My big mistake, big error. Sorry, come move that comma real quick. But 250 million a year. I think they don't need ads. I'm sorry, but like, if you could help us out as a fan base, that would be great. Get more time, a little bit more time for people to get on screen, even maybe.
Piper and Chelsea, Zoe and Shayna, I think benefited a lot from the hour free.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they would have made the cut, or because we still had the Bailey segment.
Even the DIY tag team match, like like that was all ad free. I was like, all right, I loved it.
It went and I think that probably would have been a 2-segment, 3-segment match with commercials and we're back live.
Exactly. It does change the pacing of the flow of the show, and you fit in more stuff with those extra 15 to 30 minutes you squeeze out of without the ads, so over the course of the 3-hour show. So yeah, I would love for a Netflix deal to be like adless, because I fucking hate ads. But to be honest, like, you're getting 250 million. I think you don't need ads, but I think that they're gonna be like, hey guys, why not get more money? Like, come on.
Did you, nigga? I was there at Royal Rumble. They did Randy Orton, they did AJ Styles, and them niggas cut to a commercial. And I said, what?
LA Knight was like Slim Jimmed out, bruh.
Bro, but first off, he ain't come out in no Slim Jim gear.
No gear.
On no Slim Jim car. He didn't even bite no Slim Jim on the way to the ring. All them niggas did was just, hey, we produced something, and this little 45 seconds gotta get in here, brother.
They put the ad on, and then they lit up the entire LEDs. No LA Knight, just Slim Jim all around, and it was for the match. So, that's ad money, and I think that's why we will see ads. I don't see them turning away money for the benefit of, hey, let's get more talent on the TV.
WWE always been doing strange change. You think they not finna suck a little dick behind the parking lot now? What you mean?
With that being said, I think that's
some niggas always ask for cheeseburger money, nigga.
Okay, we gotta listen, man. I don't strange for change, bro.
Nigga, whether
listen, I don't want to talk about
cinnamon toast crunch.
I'm not sure if this is I'm not sure if this is the right time to talk about strange for change in WWE landscape. I'm trying to get away, trying to get away from all that.
No, you know what's crazy? Hold on, before we out of here too. Honestly, this all happened because he stopped paying the bill.
What bill?
Vince stopped paying the agreement of the NDA, which is the only reason why she's talking right now. So the change is strangely stopped. And she like, oh, for real?
This was supposed to set her up for life. Like she's like,
I'm pussy. That you gonna stop these babies? Oh no. She called everybody. Hello. Now, first off, she called that nigga and said, "Something wrong with the baby?" They close for the holidays. Nigga, you sent the motherfucker come shit on my face. You better bring this check. What is wrong with you? Bring it cash. What is wrong? And when this nigga Vince was like, the bank it ain't open on Monday. She was like, okay, I got something for your ass, nigga. And she shut this shit down.
Listen, I want to make it clear. We're not laughing about the allegations and shit.
No, what I'm saying is Vince has been so, hold on. Honestly, the details had to be so abhorrent though.
Oh God.
Chidi, no, honestly, I know. But the details had to be so abhorrent this time around, bro.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like this, it had to be so vividly descriptive, vile, disgusting, evil, despicable, like it had to be all of those things for us to read one sentence. And everybody was like, "Oh, this nigga crazy."
This nigga,
it
was nasty, bro.
Like,
it was nasty.
Like we ain't never believed none of that shit before, bro.
It was nasty.
Like,
I mean, no, I believed, but I didn't want to. I don't like promoting and talking about things I don't know. I believe that Vince is the type of guy to do it based off of his content he's put out over the years.
"I'ma let everybody know how nasty this nigga is," and he caught me in the back. Now my whole thing is, bro, this goes back to what I'm saying, how WWE is carny and they'll do anything for money. Unfortunately, Vince thought he can find anybody that can do something for money when they're in a tough time. Listen, that money and that morality and all that shit come to a boil when you think that you could just fuck. And Slim Jim said it, bro. Slim Jim was like, "Man, we'll stop this shit in a heartbeat." And as you just said, WWE makes all the money in the world, bro.
Yeah.
Why did they cave for Slim Jim? Because it ain't just gonna be Slim Jim. It's gonna be C4. It's gonna be Snickers. It's gonna be Skittles. It's gonna be Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's gonna be all of that, bro. It just started with a fucking Slim Jim.
They had to go to Vince and Morton and listen. You either resign or we're going to have to call up, action to an action to just to fire you, essentially,
remove you or something.
Yeah.
And the fact
and they
that
did. So
and the fact that this is the lawsuit. This ain't even deposition, bro. You feel me? This the shit that niggas run away from. Robert Kraft, Daniel Snyder, Donald Trump. Niggas is afraid of deposition. And Vince said, "Oh shit, she leaked this shit. We can't go. I resign. I sign it. VJM. I'm gone." That's how you know he did it. And that's how you know we can't come back from it. And I honestly, right here, even with all the jokes and what I just did, I was thank you, Vince, and he's for the company. What is it? We was trying to we ain't no compartmentalizing. He Joe Paterno, he Robert Kelly, he Charles Manson, he all like there ain't no good in that person.
I gotta ask a quick question.
I can't.
But maybe I should do it off this because I genuinely don't, because I don't like throwing people under the jail or under the public court of a public opinion without knowing myself. Not because I don't know these people personally. This is just mind you, I believe the woman. Don't get me wrong, but I do know that people have manipulated text messages. We just saw the whole interview with Patrick Clark last week. If you guys haven't, Chris Van Vliet did an interview with Patrick Clark, formerly of Velveteen Dream, who brought out the receipts that, this cannot be me. This is not the true text. I've never sent these texts. And a lot of people in this day and age where people are trying to reveal things about people, I'm just posing that, hey, listen, if there's a 2% chance that this could be doctored, then I just want to throw that, because I just don't like to. I'm personally, this is me personally, I don't like just going with public opinion on everything, because once everybody jumped down the throat of somebody, I'm a person who likes to think things through and just give it a second. Now, granted, when I read everything, I was like, all right, I had to stop reading it because it was disgusting, and I don't want to hear anymore. But I am completely against sex trafficking in any form or facet. If that man did that, he deserves to be punished. Absolutely. And typically, I would say that punishment should be, legitimately taken in the court of law and, tried, for like legally, like criminally. That's how I look at it.
But I think it's hard even in this, and not to just the Diddy is the thing that right. We didn't talk because this is wrestling, right? We ain't heard nothing from that man. We ain't heard nothing from that man. Ain't no Take That. Ain't no Hey Brother Love. Ain't no I got an album coming out. Ain't no Drink This Ciroc. Ain't none of that shit, because once a motherfucker bird start singing, motherfucker listening. Now you can stream that motherfucker song. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't just gotta go buy an album. It ain't word of mouth. Nigga, this shit is worldwide. Vince and P. Diddy, when we talking about the sex trafficking and freak offs, and once that label's attached to you, me and you are different. That's why you and me. Mm-hmm. Once that's attached to you, you got a lot of making up to do for me. I'ma hop on that board. I'ma hop on that train. You know what I'm saying?
Most people would. Most people would. And
because I'm sorry about this. It's really hard to make up. Like, I listen to Currency, right? Currency is like, these details is too intricate to be made up. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it's so intricate, it's so detailed, it's so elaborate, it's so finite that you just be like, bro, if you thought of that sick shit, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, for the fact that, like you said, you read it, and it's the check-ins in the morning, and it's the check-ins in the afternoons, and it's the constant of her trying to figure out how she can get out of this. And it almost made me like, you want to judge the victim sometimes, like, Kathy, why you just ain't leave? You've been with him for 10 years. Why you that is the worst thing that you can do. And that's when I have found myself doing speaking out, when we was doing the podcast during that time, and we were having these conversations, and women for the very first time felt like taking a bra off, right? Like, they felt relieved to talk about this and like, hey,
they didn't feel it was a safe space for them to kind of reveal the things that.
Oh, this happened to you too? Mm-hmm. Oh, that motherfucker promoter over there in Indiana did that to me too. Oh, that happened to you too. That trainer down there in Georgia did that to me too. Oh, the wrestler, he tried to grope you back in the line. It started, and just like, oh, you really are this person. And for Vince, for a long time, the cover up was just like, that's Vince McMahon, like that's like on air and personal. We can't do, bro. That nigga to a T was himself on TV, and I'm ashamed to fucking go along with it.
I'm not gonna say he was himself to a T, but I will say that I think in WWE is yourself turned up to 100. They say so. Vince is himself turned up to 100. Then he's still that to some degree, I would say. And I always thought it was a little weird, some of the things that would go on WWE television, specifically the things that he would say and do. I remember looking at some promos where he had with Stephanie, that were just really, really strange, And
I sent you the promo, right? When Stephanie was like, I'm 17, Dad. And you sent me on those dinner trips and then told me what you expected. Bro, that was 15,
I'm not saying that.
years ago,
I'm not
bro.
saying I don't know if that was
No.
script
I
or
know.
not.
I'm not saying that Stephanie, but what I'm saying is the program,
the program, exactly.
that's
what I'm saying
writing
too.
behind that,
The writing behind it, the thought process behind it, like you said,
in plain sight.
And then exactly in plain sight, and then to then be like, "Yep, I approve this pen." Like the pen is the strongest, and then prove it, and then go on television and perform it. I think is a bit too far. Even like me, if I was a father, I could never even put.
That's the hindsight that make me want to. How fast that train going? Let me jump on that motherfucker, nigga. That nigga nasty.
So yeah, I do think he has some sickness to him. But man, listen, I wish the best for all parties involved, especially the victim. And I hope she's doing well, because it has to be very, very embarrassing and traumatic to have to go through that, and then also now have the strength to put it out. So respect to her. If this is all true, respect to her for going and having the bravery to go out and tell your story.
And shout out to all the OGs in music that put also the message to us young folks that's learning it right now. And this is not to make light, but it's the God honest truth. It is cheaper to keep her. All right. Vince, I believe it was and even though you got and this is the thing too, this dumbass nigga, this is how he got caught the first time. The shit was coming out of it. He was expensing the shit. I'm like, oh, this nigga crazy. How you expense the pussy bill on his pay card, cuz?
You did a full 360 spin.
What is wrong with you, bro? This nigga paid the pussy bill with the business credit card, bro.
Yeah. It's a thing where it's how you say this, a superiority complex. I think when you're the guy with the pen, and for so many years you're making decisions that affect so many lives, whether it be wrestlers or staff members. You're the one who's in charge of who gets over, who doesn't get over. You are writing the script. People are going out there and performing, and real lives are being affected and impacted. The fans come and pay you. You think that you literally are, and people call you a genius because you put things together and all this stuff. You believe your own hype and that you can be untouchable, and there's certain boundaries you feel like, oh, I can cross that because I'm who I am. I'm Vince McMahon, and you just feel like you can get away with that shit. I think that same thing with Diddy, same thing with Donald Trump, same thing with R. Kelly. When you get believing your own hype, all these people I think have been called geniuses at some point, and have been people feeding them all this bullshit because they're the guy in charge, So, and then you believe your own hype, So, well, they say with great power comes great responsibility, but they always say absolute power corrupts absolutely. And unfortunately, when Vince was absolutely in power, and I definitely believe that he was corrupted on many occasions, and not just with this.
As Stu Goss will say on the Dan Le Batard show, speaking of hell, Art Briles.
Shout out to guys
on the weekend observations.
Shout out to guys. Listen, that's all that we have for you tonight. Tune in next week. We'll be on the pod. We're keeping tapping in with what's going on the week that was professional wrestling. Until further, we bid you adieu. All's love. Everything is wrestling, and we'll shout out to you guys next week. We'll see ya. Peace.
Peace.